Hey folks, in my last tip I talked about the point curve and creating negatives from it. So I'm going to look at something else with a point curve and then a little bit of split toning. And there's a lot of kind of actionized look that give you a washed out look and then have a kind of a color tone to it. So rather than just give you free presets that do this, I think it would be a good idea to explain what's happening and then you can create your own from there. So we have an image here, and so what I want to do is I want to give it a kind of a washed out look and then like a faded look, and then I want to give it a bit of color. So what I do is I'm going to come into the point curve. Again, we're in the tone curve. If you don't see this kind of a curve, basically if you look down at the bottom where you have the four sliders, you have this little icon here, right? And then we need to change it to linear for a second just to get started. So we're pulling all the contrast out of it. That'll help give it a little bit of a faded look. And the next thing we're going to do is we come down to the bottom point here. We're not adding any more points, we're just taking the bottom point and we bring it up. We literally, as we drag it up, we can see that the black point is getting pushed further and further and further up. That is the minimum point that the black can be. So it doesn't matter what we do with the black slider. It's not, we're going to have this kind of faded look anyway. Okay, so this is how we get the faded look. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of color to it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say go for a blue look, and this time I'm going to balance them with both the highlights and the shadows to be roughly around the same kind of color. Okay, so this is how we can create a colored look, a color toned look. Now if that's too much, you just pull back to saturation so that you're just getting just whatever little amount you want in. Okay, so we could then save this as a preset if you want. Let's say you want another variation on it where we have, say, kind of a warmer tone. So in that case you'd be kind of in the yellows to go and get a warmer tone. Again, you could create this as a preset. If I was creating this as a preset, I would only have two things in the preset, which would be the tone curve and the split toning. So that's just an idea how you can get that kind of faded look. And again, you can make it warm if you wanted reds. Again, you could just have it into the pinks and reds and stuff like that. And again, if you wanted to go for a more kind of a subtly toned cross process, you can do that as well. So that's just how you can create that kind of faded look with a bit of a color tone very, very quickly in Lightroom.